think one of the best things about our practice is the small family-style atmosphere that we have. We have a really close-knit staff, so it allows us to spend a lot of quality time with our patients. We get to know them, their families, they get to know us. So in that regard, it makes our office really unique. I used to be a musician. I was a musician before I went to dental school. I actually played the bassoon. Most people don't know what that is, but it's a really large woodwind instrument. And I played that since 5th grade. When I went to college, I was still playing that. I was a music major. I was going to be a music teacher. And 2 years into college, that's when I switched my major and turned to dentistry. I actually still do play my instrument, just for fun. I don't belong to any symphonies. Another talent I have is that I'm an equestrian. My daughter and I compete with our show horses. So we compete from March through October every year down the circuit of Eastern United States. We have 5 show horses. Actually, no, I guess we have 3 show horses now. One is retired and another is actually just our play horse that we get to have fun with. But we have American Saddlebreds, and my daughter and I compete starting in March at our spring premiere in Raleigh, North Carolina. And our show season runs all the way through October. So pretty much every weekend we're riding horses. When I'm not in the office, one of the best activities that we get to do together is get out to the barn and play with the horses. We've got one horse named Boomer, one named Dinero. We've got a horse named Heisenberg. We've got Lucky, and we have Ruby. And it's really fun. We have a great group of people that we ride with, and it's always a mood booster. You can have a long day at work, really tired, but you get out to the barn and get to play with the horses, and all is good. We have a good time doing that. His show name is Here Comes the Thunder, so we call him Boomer. And the other horse, his show name is Spending Money. We named him Dinero. And the other is Mikhail's Heart of Love. I'm not really sure where that came from. It's not our favorite, but we call him Heisenberg because he's really big and cool. So I can say I started riding horses when I was 10. My mother rode horses growing up, and then she kind of got out of it. But when we were 10, my mom bought another horse, and that's when we started riding. So my dad built a barn on the back of our property, and we started bringing in the horses. The next thing we know, we've got 10 horses. My parents started breeding horses. My sister actually was really into horses. She did dressage and eventing. She was invited to try out for the Olympic team at one point. She ended up not doing that because it would have put off going to college for a little while. But I stopped actually riding horses in high school because I picked up music. I really got more into music, so that was my main focus. So I stopped riding and competing all through college, and then, of course, after dental school and having kids, I wanted the kids to start riding again, but every time I would take them to my parents' farm, they were terrified of the horses. They wouldn't go in the barn. We would say, touch the horse, let's get on the horse's back, and they would cry. So I thought, okay, horses are not going to be in my future, so we really didn't push the issue. And then at one point, when the kids were maybe 8, and by the kids, I'm talking about the youngest two, my son and my daughter, they were, I think my youngest son was 5, and then my daughter was 7 or 8 at the time. And just out of the blue, they said, well, I think we want to ride horses, which was crazy to me. By now, I had moved to North Carolina. My parents were in Pennsylvania, so they didn't really have access to the horse farm or the horses. So I had to find another barn to take lessons. So we showed up one day, and I said, do you give lessons to 6-year-olds and 8-year-olds? And the trainer said, well, yeah, sure. So the kids got on the horses, and they were hooked. So it didn't take long for me to get back on the horse again, and it just snowballed from there. So now we have been competing for almost 10 years. One thing that often surprises my patients about dentistry is that they come in thinking that they're just going to get their teeth cleaned or they just need a tooth fixed. But when we start asking them questions about their medical history and we do a complete exam and we start finding out different things about them, we can start educating the patient on the benefits of oral health as it relates to their whole body health. A lot of people don't realize the oral systemic connection and how important it is to have a healthy mouth. We have patients that have history of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, lots of different conditions, and they don't realize how important the oral health can be in maintaining their overall medical health. One of the unique things about our office is that we offer an in-house dental savings plan, and it's really geared to help patients that don't have dental insurance. So we offer a single plan, a family plan, and there's no deductibles, there's no waiting periods, there's no pre-authorizations, and there's no maximum amount that we pay out. So it can really benefit patients that aren't able to get dental insurance. It makes dentistry a lot more affordable. The way our dental savings plan works is you sign up either for a single family member, or you can add your spouse or children. So there's a single plan or family plan, and that does include 2 yearly cleanings. It includes all your x-rays, your exam, it includes emergency treatment, and it includes a percentage off of your dental treatment, depending if you have major treatment or what would be considered basic treatment, like fillings. There's a different percentage of what you would get off of that treatment. The great thing about this plan is that there's no maximum allowable. Some insurance companies, they'll only allow $1,500 worth of benefits per year. We don't max out on anything. We also don't have any prior authorizations. There's no deductibles, there's no waiting periods, so it's all inclusive. A lot of times what we find is when someone signs up for an insurance plan, there's a lot of treatment that the patient would need that wouldn't be covered. Then they have to pay out of pocket 100% for that. Our dental savings plan, not only is it more cost effective for the patient, it's all inclusive, so they'll benefit in all phases of treatment that they need in our office. And it's good for 1 year, and they can renew that each year. For patients that don't have dental insurance, we do have an in-office dental savings plan. And the way this dental savings plan works, there's a one-time annual fee, and that fee does include all of your x-rays, your exam twice a year, 2 cleanings a year, and a percentage off of all of your dental treatment. The percentage can change depending on what procedures you have. You'll fall into 2 categories, either basic procedures or major procedures, and there's a difference in percentage depending on what treatment you would need. The great thing about this dental insurance is that there's no yearly maximum. It doesn't cut you off after a certain amount of money that you spend. There's no deductible, there's no waiting period. There are no procedures that are denied. The best part about being a dentist is my daily interaction with all the patients. I absolutely love getting to know all of my patients. I love making a difference in their life. I have so many patients that come in that are terrified to come to the dentist, and when they leave, they're leaving with a big smile on their face, and that is the best feeling. It's so rewarding for me to change someone's perception about dentistry and make them feel comfortable, give them back their smile, give them back their confidence. The way someone feels about their teeth can really alter someone's attitude and how they go about their daily life. And when they can smile confidently, and when I know that I was able to provide that to them, that's the best. I would say the most rewarding thing that I've been able to do is help a high school student that was graduating fulfill her dream and get a better smile to go off to college. This was a girl that was really shy and quiet, didn't talk much, didn't smile much. She was getting ready to graduate, and her parents came to me and they said that they wanted to help her. They knew that she wasn't happy about the way her smile looked, and they knew she was getting ready to graduate and go off to college, and the parents wanted their child to have a little bit more confidence, be able to smile, meet new people, and not be afraid to show her teeth. So we brought her in, and she was really nervous. She was not really had any dental procedures before. But once I spent a lot of time talking with her, she started getting more comfortable with me, and then she opened up and told me exactly what she didn't like about her smile. So I sat down with the parents and gave them a few different scenarios, and they were wonderful. They said, do whatever you need to do to make her smile perfect for her, what she wants. So it took us about 3 or 4 months, but we were able to totally change her smile. And it was like a different child that came into the practice after her teeth were fixed to the way she thought they should look. She graduated from high school. She took her high school, or I guess her senior pictures, with the biggest smile I have ever seen her have. She got into college, and I don't think she stopped smiling. She comes back all the time, and I see her. Her parents send letters. She has sent me letters, just so appreciative of what she says is changing her life. Amalgam fillings have been around for a long time. They definitely have served their purpose. Personally, in my office, we are mercury-free. I do not place any amalgam fillings, aside from the controversial mercury content in amalgams. I don't like them because they're not really bonded to the tooth. I would say 100% of the old mercury or amalgam fillings that I remove from someone's teeth have gunk, black mold underneath of them. The new bonded tooth-colored fillings are chemically bonded to the tooth, so you get a good seal on that tooth so bacteria can't leak down inside of it. Amalgam is really held in by retention, so there's no seal. So over years and years and years, everything just leaks under those old amalgam fillings and just creates trouble. I also, over my years of being a dentist, I've seen so many teeth fracture after having these amalgam fillings in for years and years and years, because that metal filling, over time, it just slowly, or over having those fillings in your mouth for a long time, they expand and contract so many times that it creates fractures within the tooth. Once those fractures get large enough, the tooth breaks. Fortunately, a lot of the time I can find these fractures before the tooth actually breaks and recommend removing those fillings and repairing the tooth with different options depending on how large the fracture is. But unfortunately, some people don't come see me soon enough, and they'll see me after the tooth already breaks, and then the treatment to restore the tooth is much larger. So all in all, I would say the amalgam fillings are not something that I would recommend placing.
Okay.
I guess I could go further to say, I don't know if we would actually want to put this on video or not, but in the dental industry, we cannot throw amalgams in the trash can. We have to have a special amalgam separator because it's considered a hazardous waste, which I find is really crazy, because why do we have to have a special place to dispose of the amalgam fillings, yet we're allowed to put them in our mouth? I don't get it.
That's good.
I think that's a great thing to put on
Yeah.
Facebook, actually.
I do too. What are your views on sedation dentistry?
I think sedation dentistry is a perfect option for patients that have high anxiety. Some people truly physically cannot sit in the chair and have the work done that they need to have done because their anxiety prohibits them from coming in. So there's so many different options for sedation dentistry. We've got IV sedation, we have nitrous oxide, we even have an all-natural sedation method called NuCalm, which happens to be my favorite method of sedation. The great thing about that is because it is non-narcotic. So the patient can come in, and there's 4 steps to that treatment. We take a cream and place that on the skin, or you can have a chewable tablet that gets absorbed sublingually, and it's a combination of different vitamins that inhibit your ability to have that anxiety or produce that anxious feeling. Then we have a CES device that gets attached back to the back of your neck, and with little electrical stimulation, that combined with the vitamins that you're taking puts you in your alpha stage of sleep, a very restful sleep. You're not sleeping, but you're completely relaxed. We also have a soundtrack on headphones, and the headphones have a embedded beat in it that also helps reset your central nervous system and get into that really restful stage of, I'll say sleep, but you're not sleeping. And we also have an eye mask. So we're blocking all these senses, and it really allows the patient to be calm and get the treatment done that they need to have done. And then when we're finished, they can get up and walk out the door with no side effects. So that's a really awesome way to treat patients that have anxiety. But nitrous oxide is also another great option. We do have that in the office as well. Nitrous oxide, again, doesn't stay long-term in the system. After we're finished, we flush out all the nitrous with pure, straight oxygen for a few minutes, and the patient can leave, again, with virtually no side effects to that. But sedation is definitely a great way to help someone get through treatment when they're really, really anxious.
Okay, I like that.
I've never heard of the vitamin thing before.
Yeah, I've never heard of the vitamin thing before. Have you tried it?
Nucalm? Yeah. Yep, we've got Nucalm.
Maybe talk about your experience with it, and maybe not go into as much detail about it, but just talk about how it's more natural.
Okay. Okay, before you do that, let me just look it up, because I pulled up like their website, because they always change how they describe it, and they use all of these.
Nucalm, like
Nucalm.
Donald's here.
Okay.
This is a good time for him to come in if you would like.
They say it's a safe, proven neuroscience technology. All of that, people don't care. They just want to know, does it work?
Yeah, that's great. Is this I don't feel a thing, right?
Hearing you describe it made me think, I want to try this.
I know.
Like,
So Nucalm is a neuroscience technology. There's a lot of science that I could explain to you how it works, but the bottom line is it's awesome. I've used it. The first time I was told about it, I was a little bit skeptical. I didn't know how a topical cream and a soundtrack and a electrical device attached to the back of my neck was going to sedate me, but I tried it and I couldn't believe it. It worked. Basically what we do is we take a cream and we rub it on the side of our neck. It gets absorbed into our system. We attach the electrical stimulation device, a CES device, to the back of our neck, put on the soundtrack and the eye mask and lay back and relax. And within about 5-10 minutes, you're really in that little dreamy stage where you feel like you're about to fall asleep, but you're not falling asleep. It's just that stage right before you fall asleep where your mind is starting to wander a little bit. And when I did this, before I knew it, someone was saying, okay, we're finished, it's time to get up. And I took everything off thinking, well, that was only 5 minutes. It had been 45 minutes. So you don't realize how fast the time goes when you're using this sedation method. So I brought it home to the practice and I use it on quite a few of my patients. And all of them, when I'm finished with the treatment, they can't believe how fast you're finished already. So it's really surprising. It works quickly, it's safe, all natural. It's definitely a sedation method that I highly recommend in my office.
That's good. What are your views on sedation dentistry for children?
Since I don't do it, I don't really have a huge opinion on that.
do we want her to talk about it? Or should we-
Yeah, I would say that really the only thing I do nitrous, but like IV sedation on children, I know it's safe, it's effective, but
See,
you would have
not
to
like
go
Ed
to.
Dentist does, doesn't do it, so there's not really anything to talk about.
Okay, that's fine.
My view
That's
is
good.
refer to the pediatric dentist.
Okay. Hey there. How
Hey.
are
Good.
She's lying, she doesn't play well.
you? Oh, you don't feel well today?
No, not at all.
You're on your way to Vegas.
My son gave me the crud over Thanksgiving.
Oh.
I really
no.
thought it would be gone, and I started the Zicam and everything on Sunday.